Alright, up next, everyone give a warm welcome to Crust Bag.
Hello, and welcome to Crust Bag's Comedy Corner, a series where I ramble about a relatively specific subject for slightly too long. Like how Jim Gaffigan will do an entire special on food, and after 15 minutes you'd kind of wish he'd move on, but then he doesn't. It's like that, except for instead of doing 30 minutes on Hot Pockets, today we're going to be talking about hypocrisy. Everyone has morals that they fully believe but don't really stick to 100% of the time. Everyone has an angel and a devil on their shoulder. Inside of you there are two wolves. You know the drill. Like, I firmly believe that outing someone is wrong. It doesn't matter the situation. That is their private information to do with as they please, and it's no one else's business to air it out there like that. But also, every time I see a Republican senator whose entire platform is being anti-LGBTQ+ gets outed, I think that it's the funniest thing on the entire planet. Both of these things cannot exist simultaneously. By definition, they cancel each other out. And yet, I agree with both of them because I'm a hypocrite, and so are you probably. So let's talk about that. Okay, so before we get into it, just a friendly reminder, this video is going to be about conflicting morality, the good, the bad, the moral, the immoral. So if you don't have a good sense of humor about anything controversial or bad or mean or horrible, there's the door. Escort yourself out. You clicked on the wrong video. Those of you who are remaining, I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so I believe that ageism is bad. This is a thing I believe in my heart. These are my morals. I think it makes the world a worse place, but boy, do I get it. I think that explaining how to use technology to an old person has got to be its own layer of hell. It's so bad. And not to mention old people saying stuff like, it's rude to stare, but open mouth gawking like a dead fish whenever they see a woman wear a crop top or a boy with long hair. That's not for you. Both of these things, by the way, have been around for a very long time. Don't know why it's a problem now, but okay. Basically, I'm against ageism, but like, boy, is it hard to be sometimes. I think that body shaming, or just shaming someone for their looks in general, is a bad thing that we should all collectively move away from. But at the same time, if you are a bad person and you're ugly, that's funny. Whether or not body shaming is acceptable should not depend on the person. It's always a bad thing. But also, imagine finding out that Hitler had a micro penis. I'm supposed to not think that that's funny? Get out of here. Like, that's objectively hilarious. This next one sounds like I'm gonna go in like a really bad direction, but just hear me out, trust me. Dead naming people is wrong. You should always address people how they want to be addressed. It doesn't matter if you don't like it or if it's difficult for you to pronounce, whatever. Respecting people's identity is really not that hard. If you know me, you know that I'm a huge trans ally and I am strongly against dead naming. But dead naming corporations, on the other hand, is totally fine and also funny. Excuse me, we prefer to go by Meta now. Facebook, you just want attention. Shut up. Actually, we just go by Max now. Oh my god, why are you bothering us with your identity crisis? Oh, I have to download a new app now? Great. It's like microdosing being a Republican, but it's morally acceptable because corporations aren't people and they don't have identities. They just want to make money. And on that note, did you know that Mormons don't want to be called Mormons anymore? They want to be called members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Yeah, we ain't calling you that shit, man. That's a whole paragraph. I do think it's kind of cool that they're embracing that they're a cult a little bit more now, because like, what is more culty than having an identity that's an entire paragraph that has the word of in it 3 times? Not even royalty gets to use of in their title that many times. That's crazy. It's literally like that one King of the Hill meme too, which just makes it extra good. And to make matters even funnier, do you know why they changed it? They changed it because Mormons have a bad rep. So instead of, changing their behavior or stop, stealing money, they decided to just do a rebrand that no one played along with. They were like, hey guys, we changed our name. We're different people now. And everyone was like, whoa, cool. All right, keep walking. Don't make eye contact. Just don't make eye contact. But yeah, I think that dead naming is wrong and that everyone's identity should be respected, unless if you're a corporation or a cult corporation, in which case you couldn't pay me to respect your identity. You suck. Allow me to be the first to say that I think that taunting people with psychosis is a bad thing. Like that whole nightmare Eric Andre bit, that would be horrible to do to an actual person. However, Christians that fall for satanic panic stuff are amazing to make fun of. You know the type. They think that stuff like Hocus Pocus, Harry Potter, David Bowie, and Wizards of Waverly Place are all the devil trying to brainwash your children. Those Christians, telling them that the devil is in their walls and that you put a curse on them will never not be funny. They just take it so seriously. Am I really not supposed to mess with them? I mean, come on. Is it horrible? Yes. Is it funny every single time? Also, yes. Am I a bad person for doing that despite it violating my morals? Probably, but I could live with that. I think that the US prison system is immoral and also completely inhumane. Not only in its treatment, its insane incarceration numbers, and the fact that it's objectively racist, but also the fact that a lot of it is for profit and is proven not to even really be that effective. But despite all of that being true, I think that if you refer to your as your seed, you should be in jail forever. No trial, no nothing. If you unironically say, yeah, you want my seed, you need to be taken out of the general population. Now, I'm not saying that every single person who refers to it as their seed is a serial killer, but I'm very positive that the Venn diagram is at least close to being a circle. I think it is morally bad to knowingly steal jokes. Sometimes you can subconsciously absorb information and regurgitate it later, unknowingly rip someone off, like that happens to everyone. But knowingly stealing someone's joke is bad. However, I think that if you're an extremely successful comedian who gets caught being gross to women, I think it's fine if I steal the of course but maybe joke format and expand on it and turn it into its own video. Oops. Being a scumbag kind of pushes your work into the public domain in my opinion, so this joke, it's mine now. Thank you. Also, by the way, the fact that this joke starts off with a nut allergy joke, peanuts kill me by the way, legitimately just a funny coincidence. I'm not butthurt over it. It's funny how that turned out. All right, moving on. I think that everyone should be able to feel confident in their appearance and take photos of themselves whenever they want, express themselves however they want. All that is super important. However, if you're taking a selfie and you're in front of me, you're like standing in front of me, I think you should go fuck yourself. Maybe this is too specific, but have you ever been in line and the people standing in front of you are constantly taking selfies? It is weirdly, insanely irritating. One, it's annoying because like just take one or two good pictures. Why are you having an entire photo shoot in front of me? But also the fact that now I'm going to be in these photos, whether I like it or not. There's no escape. I don't consent to standing awkwardly in the background of all 200 of your photos. Can you please fuck off? Like, that's rude, right? But like, what am I supposed to do? Tell them to stop taking selfies? That's even more rude. Express yourself however you want. Take as many photos of yourself as you want. But if there are people behind you, cool it with that shit. Seriously. I think Kid Rock sucks. His music is garbage. Everything he stands for is garbage. His fan base is garbage. Point blank, end of story. However, depending on your age and the trashiness of your upbringing, there is a slim window of time where Ba Wit Da Ba is a really good song. And I'm ashamed to admit that I, in fact, do fall into that small window of overlap. This isn't a debate over separating art from the artist or anything, because that whole dynamic is just a whole mess. But I think it's unfortunate that Kid Rock managed to rope in a handful of people with that song, myself included. I don't want to be roped in, but I get it. I think it is really important and really cool that people decide to have kids. I in no way want to discourage that. It's a personal choice, and frankly, that's really awesome and cool. It is also one of the objectively worst ideas you could possibly do, and people keep doing it for some reason. I hate saying that, but it's like, I can't imagine looking at the state of everything and going, wow, this is great. I wish it was harder and I had less money and free time though. That's what's missing from this. Follow your heart though, do whatever. It's just a decision that I cannot wrap my head around. that being a good idea unless if you are rich and bored. I think if someone is very clearly suffering from mania or some sort of mental illness, you should not take their breakdown as some sort of entertainment. But at the same time, it is fantastic entertainment, and I'm gonna look anyways. I'm sorry. Does Kanye West suffer from mental illnesses? Absolutely, and that is terrible. But also, every single time he does something horrible publicly, I'm popping popcorn because of course I am. Trisha Paytas said some insane horse shit. Christmas came early. Someone who you met one time 5 years ago was having an extremely public breakup and posting a lot of the intimate details of it publicly. I think you should stop that morally, but I'm also gonna read all of it. It's horrible to admit, but I think it's something that everyone is guilty of to some degree. I don't know, maybe I'm just a bad person. That's also an option. I think that it is really problematic that a lot of villains are queer-coded. But at the same time, I also think that is so badass and cool. Don't get me wrong, I'm aware that it's a problem, that it feeds into a bunch of harmful stereotypes, but also, like, villains are just the coolest character, though. I don't know if I'm allowed to have this take, but it's like you're getting the short end of the stick. That's bad. But you're also getting the only stick that has a bunch of like Hot Wheels stickers on it, and it is objectively the coolest stick, but it is the shortest one. And I don't know, this analogy sucks, but you get it. I conflicting feelings. I think that stuff like slinky tricks and magic are really cool, but I also think that if you're good at those things, that's really lame. These are kind of cool skills that I find interesting and impressive to watch, and yet I'm just so much of a judgmental dick that I judge you anyways. I'm sorry, it's not fair. I think it is ridiculous to assume giant things about a person that you've never actually met in real life before. Since parasocial relationships and the internet go so well together, and everyone on the internet is acting or pretending to be more confident or funny than they actually are in real life, and pretty much everything is fake, it leads to a lot of people assuming things about a person that are most likely manufactured. So you should never jump to major conclusions about a person based purely off of their online presence. That being said, I can confidently say Mark Zuckerberg has never made a woman come. I'm basing this off of nothing, but I know it's true. This next one is something I think everyone can agree with, especially if you grew up watching like America's Funniest Home Videos or the modern day equivalent of TikTok compilations. But I morally think that if you have an embarrassing moment and it's caught on camera, it should be kept private. If it were me in an embarrassing video that went viral, that's what I would want. That's what we all would want. And I believe in my heart that we should all do the right thing and not share around embarrassing videos. But I mean, come on. None of us do that. If I see a video of someone slipping and falling on stage in front of everyone only for that video to go viral, thus like exponentially making the embarrassment way worse, I should not be showing it in this video right now, but I am because it's funny. Look at her. Oh my god, that's so funny. This is probably one of the most embarrassing moments of this person's entire life, and we all have a moral duty to not be watching it and laughing at it, and we are all failing, aren't we? Because deep down, I think that we are all hypocrites, and maybe that's okay. And on that note, I think that's the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, keep that to yourself, because feedback hurts my feelings. Was this a stand-up special? Barely, but I kind of don't really care. I got a microphone, I got a backdrop. That's like 60% of it, so close enough. On a personal note, lately I've been building up each video in my head way more than I reasonably should, and I end up kind of locking myself into this mentality of the next thing I do has to be perfect, and like, I just need to shut up with that. This is a YouTube channel. It's not that serious. So this video is just kind of an effort to just relax, chill out, just hang out and tell jokes. Not everything needs to be like a 2-month-long video essay. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this kind of video. I've done it sort of in the past, but I kind of wanted to solidify it and have its own like distinct style now. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Consider doing these things. And that's it. All right, bye. Hypocrisy. It's like democracy, but for hippos. I'm cutting that.